You are welcome to the step one of building your fundraising systems. In this step, we're going to identify and build your list of ideal funders. This is basically the foundation of your fundraising success. Talking to the right people, talking to the people who has the money that your mission needs. Now, why does this step matter? Most nonprofit make the mistake of just reaching out to anybody to raise money. Most nonprofit thinks that it's all about explaining, it's all about convincing, it's all about, basically begging for donation. That if only they can, explain enough, if only they can sound emotionally appealing enough, organic people would give to them. But that's the sad reality. People don't give because you over-explain. People don't give because you sound emotionally appealing. People give because they believe in your cause, because they're aligned with your cause, or because they're interested in your cause. So how do you find these people? We say the people who have the propensity, the affinity, and the capacity to give to your cause. How do you find them? This is what identifying and building your list of ideal funders is all about. Because you want to be talking to the right people. You want to be talking to the people who would gladly give to your mission. People only who you only have to invite in to partner with your mission. And that's why this matters. Because the main reason, one of the reasons why you may be struggling is because you may have been talking to the wrong people. But with this step, you can start talking to the right people. Now, who is an ideal funder? An ideal funder is a person, a business, a grantor, a foundation, or a government agency that aligns with your mission, that has the capacity to give to your cause, that has the propensity and the affinity, that's already motivated to give to your cause, that already has a reason to give to your cause. Your goal is to find these people and not just find them in their numbers, thousands, and even in millions, if you want to be able to raise money sustainably for your nonprofit organization. Now we have 8 funder categories that fall within your ideal funders. And with these categories, you can be able to pinpoint who your ideal funders are and begin to build a list of these people. The very first is your personal network. As a founder, you are connected to people. You know business owners, you know colleagues, you have friends who know you, who like you, who trust you, who believe in you. You know people across your community. People know you. This is all about identifying them and going after them. So your first set of ideal funders are your personal network. And we have what we call the relationship mapping form to help you map out who your personal network are that have the propensity, affinity, and capacity to give to your cause. And this is not just for you. Your board members should also be able to do the same. They should also be able to map out their own personal network so that by that you can have a list of personal network that you and your board members can begin to reach out to. We call these the low-hanging fruit because for people to give to your cause, they need to know, like, and trust you. And people within your personal network, they already know, like, and trust you. So it's a lot easier to get them to give than reaching out to a cold prospect. The second category, ideal funders category, are the people who benefit from your cause. People, businesses, organizations, grantors, foundations that benefit from your cause. Some may be directly, some may be indirectly. For example, an organization that empowers children, right? One of the people that benefit from such causes are the parents of these kids that are being empowered. So these are ideal funders because they already have a motivation to see organization succeed. The school these kids go to are also ideal funders because they want to also see these kids succeed. So also are the teachers that teaches these kids. For an organization that empowers homeless people, the real estate agents, the real estate companies, the home decor stores, the furniture stores, these are your ideal funders. Why? Because when you empower these um, homeless people to leave the streets. They go to these real estate agents to get homes. They get to these real estate companies to buy homes. They go to home decor stores to get home decorations. They go to furniture stores to get furnitures for their homes. So you see, there are people who benefit from your course. You just need to be able to think about it strategically. Who are these people? Who are these businesses? Who are these organizations? And begin to go after them. Now, these most of the examples I gave to you are people who benefit indirectly. People who benefit directly, if you run a course that actually empowers people who have capacity to give, these people could be your ideal funders. For an example, an organization that empowers nonprofit founders, the non-profit founders, they have resources to be able to give. So it means they are the ideal funders. So if these non-profit founders are to pay registration fees, they get to pay for trainings, they get to get paid to get resources. You can't raise money through these founders this way. So for organizations that have an audience that has the capacity to give, your direct audience could also be your funding audience. But for many that actually serve underserved and underprivileged people, you have to look into your indirect, benefactors to find who has the capacity to give. The third category of ideal funders are the triumph over need category. These are people who have overcome this very need that you're working on. For example, if you're empowering homeless people, there are people who have been able to overcome homelessness and gone on to succeed in life. And not just the people, we're also talking about these people have also gone on to start up businesses. You can identify these businesses and go after them. They've gone on to start up grant organizations. You can't identify these organizations and go after them. The fourth step is the status category. Here we're talking about the people, the entities that are going to look good by associating or recognizing with your mission. We're talking about the political classes. We're talking about the celebrities, the athletes. We're talking about, the local leaders who would want to be associated with your mission to show to the world that they are into something good. You can be able to get these people in to fund or support your cause. They can be able to expose you to their network, helping you raise far more money than you can ever think of. We also have the people with the interest. We call them the solution providers, people who are interested in providing a solution to that need that you're working on, people who are interested in doing something just to, mitigate that challenge you're working on. You can't be able to find these people. Then we have the mission alignment people, people who have similar missions to yours or have missions that align with your mission. So, for example, if you empower kids, you have beverage companies that also empower kids by providing them nutritious drinks, right? So you see that if you are already aligned, you have brands that are also aligned with your cause that you can be able to identify, including people who are also aligned, because we have people out there whose entire mission is towards empowering kids. The influence multipliers are the people who can be able to connect you and open doors to your mission. And there are people out there who are aligned with your mission and have the influence, they have the impact. Here we're talking about the celebrities, the radio OAPs, the newscasters, the media houses, people with large audiences. There are people who are already aligned that they can help expose you to far more people than you can even imagine. Of course, the capacity builders, people with high net worth, these are people who you can also tap into to raise money. So we've provided you AI prompts to help you identify these different categories of funders from within your audience. All you have to do is click on the link below for the AI link. You'll find prompts to help you identify who your benefit funders are, your status funders, mission aligned funders, people with the giving history, people who have proven to give to causes like yours before. You would find them and begin to build a list. Um, you will find first, we help you identify a detailed description of these audiences, right? Where to find them. And then, of course, we're now talking about building your first list. There's also a prompt to help you build your first list. So when you go into the AI prompt, you will see a clear step-by-step prompt to help you build your first list of at least 100 prospects that you can start reaching out to today. But your first list is only the beginning. You're going to need it to build a more detailed list. And we've been able to outline 10 proven steps to help you build a more detailed list. We're talking of organic search. Just take the keywords from the AI profiles, the profiles identified with the AI prompt, put them into Google, put them into social media, and then you begin to identify people that align with these descriptions, connecting with them. The second is supporters and referrals. Your present support base, your present donor base, you can be able to email them, asking who do you know that fits these categories so that they can start filtering up their network and then connecting you to people that fit your ideal funders. There's a social media adverts. You can be able to run social media adverts targeted at the ideal funders you identified during the AI profile analysis, right? So, for example, if your AI profile analysis showed that psychologists are one of your ideal funders, you can actually run a targeted advert on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram that targets these these kind of people, right, to be able to get their contact details. So, for example, if you run an advert promoting a poll or a survey targeted at them, they're most likely going to respond, and that's going to give you their contact details for further engagement. Or you put out a lead magnet that specifically speaks to them. Say, for example, you're reaching out to psychologists and you're saying 5 ways to get clients as a psychologist. Boom, you're having them download that free lead magnet and then they're providing you their email details. Another way is through research platforms like the iWave, the Kind site. You can be able to go on these platforms for a monthly fee and run a more detailed search to find hundreds of people, thousands of people that fits your ideal funding audience and begin to build your list. Of course, similar nonprofits, you can look there like their 990 forms and find people who are funding these nonprofits that look like yours so that you can start connecting with them and building a list. Networking and partnerships. So if you identify that one of the ideal funders are real estate agents, you can be able to have search, for events where these real estate agents are, congregate. If you go on Eventbrite or go on Google to search for events for real estate agents in Oklahoma City, you're going to find these events and you can start, joining these events, even sponsoring these events if you want to get access to the details of participants. Also, for partnerships, you can be able to reach out to the chambers of commerce, build a partnership with them that begins to give you access to their network of business people. And you can also join their events. There's the LinkedIn search, basically putting in the details of the people you're looking out for, real estate agents in Oklahoma City, run the search. You find lots of these people out there and begin to connect and build that network. There's a public database. You can go to the library. You can check foundation directory, grant station. You're going to find lots of grants and funding that are available for nonprofit like yours. There's the content marketing and lead magnets, putting our content out there consistently that speaks to your kind of audience, calls them out. We get them to start reaching out to you to raise money. Lastly, there's the alumni and affinity groups, alumni associations, affinity groups, association, professional associations, the Rotary clubs. You can be able to find your target audience there if you begin to connect and join these associations. Now, to run a more detailed search, you may need a volunteer, a research volunteer that's going to help you run a more detailed search. So you can go get volunteers or interns on platforms like Catchfire, Volunteer Match, Idealist, and then have them do a more detailed research using the steps we just explained. And of course, the outcome will be you pulling out thousands of people that fit your ideal funders so that you can start building a relationship with them. Once you start pulling up these names and details, you have to be able to organize them into a list. Name organization, the contact details, the categories, the connection or source, capacity of giving, history, propensity, why they should give, right? And of course, the status. So you can't be able to aim for at least 100 prospects per month. That's going to really keep you on the good, on the good side. If you go for 100 prospects per month, at the end of the year, you're supposed to have at least 1,200 prospects. Why this may not, sound like a big number, but this 1,200 prospects are people that are ideally targeted and, aligned with the organization. If you are able to raise money from just 500 of these people strategically, let's say, for example, you're able to raise $200 from 500 of these people, that's $10,000. If you are strategic and you're able to raise $1,000 from 500 of these people, that's $500,000. So it's very important to note that it's not really about the number, but it's first the quality, and then second, the ability for them to give. So if you do this, you're going to have a rich list of prospects that you can start reaching out to raise money for your organization. And like we said, you don't want to reach out to just anybody to raise money. You want to reach out to the people, the organizations, the businesses that are already aligned, that have the capacity, the affinity to support your organization. So I'll see you in the next step where we talk about creating your fundraising offers. Basically, the offers that get donors excited, that get donors to want to partner with you and your organization. I'll see you in the next step.